they're quite comfortable playing it, and they're quite confident in their ability to win on it. Seems like we're going to be jumping right into the game, Kremer. Don't have to chit-chat for too long in this one because all the players are ready and alive and kicking. As we get into this pistol, it's going to be Granit Gaming starting off on the T side as they bomb their way towards A, and well, they don't want to waste any time at all, Kremer. They are speedy.
Absolutely right. sinnopsyy ready in towards toilet. Spots out these first couple members. There's the first kill as Hype is taken down. And with that, he tries to spam down these members. And oh, he does just that. 3 quick kills. He'll look to try and make it 4. Unfortunately, the players left standing are the ones with utilities. They can try and force him back for the merits of that. But sinnopsyy, he's still standing. And there's good reason to fear him. He almost kills the next player on body shots. It's going to be Scenario there to help him out with that. Scenario finds the second. And for Blink, that's the pistol round. A 1-0 lead established against Granit Gaming. And I'll tell you what, Josh, as your Granit, that is a bit of a scary way to get things underway. Knowing sinnopsyy is here and he is warm.
Yeah, that is a really great start to the pistol round. 3 clean headshots and Blink. That's the statement that they want to put down early. Yeah, on their opponent's map pick, they turn up and they just kick off with a great round, a great start. Don't allow any kind of advantages for Granit, not even an opportunity to get that bomb down. And with it, Granit aren't going to invest anything into this one. It's just the Glocks all round. They want to get this one over and done with. Shine, he's gone into a P250, but not a whole lot more than that. And as we see them just head over towards B short, hope that they can catch out an aggressing member. Instead, it's going to be Hype to fall first.
Shine, he'll be trying to trade. He does tag down GX a little bit, but it feels like it's silver linings. He spammed down further. sinnopsyy's been able to shut down Alex, and with Granit just attempting to fade away, it's all down to Franson. And Josh, these rounds are looking pretty dominant. They're definitely looking pretty dominant, but for Granit, they're on an eco. It was a post-pistol round. What's going to matter is the round after this, where they go to their first full buy and get a little topple Blink with these AKs, and that really is going to be kind of the main star factor to see and try and gauge how either team's going to do against one another. The point I did have, actually, sorry to interrupt you there. The talking point I did have is, which I had this prepared in the pre-game, and in my mind at least, it was, okay, our camera sequence is usually quite long. Let's really get as much done as possible. I tried to find out how to say good luck in Albanian. And I've never seen a more complicated, skewered language in my life, Josh. I really struggled, and I'm not even going to discredit it by attempting to say it now. But I'm impressed for Blink by speaking Albanian, let alone just having to communicate in it as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There are lots of languages, Cronin, that I cannot do. Basically, all besides English. But the thing is, right, is this buy round, it's not just about whether Granit can win it or not. It's about just whether they can actually put up some kind of stopping force, yeah? Even if they lose the round, if they find some kills, if they get a bomb plant, they can kind of shrug it off as it wasn't a bad round, yeah? Still keep that confidence factor and go into the next with their heads held high. If they just get completely demolished in this round as well, that's where that kind of morale sink is going to start to set in. Nice trade there from Via, but remember, this is a bit of a bonus from Blink. So if they actually win this round, they can upgrade those FAMASs and SMGs into AKs, and they'll reset the Granit economy once again, and they can be on for an early 4. So Granit really, really do need to focus here and make sure that they don't make too many mistakes. They're spread around the map on this default, but they need to make sure they don't lose this C4 and this B control that they're trying to establish.
What I really like by that is we saw Gulito just back away intentionally. That meant they wouldn't expect Scenario to be there. They weren't expecting double bombs to set up, and that's a little nuance from Blink's defense, which actually worked beautifully. And with 30 seconds left, Granit have to approach into them. It's 3-on-3, so definitely winnable. juanflatroo, he'll be ready for Shine to lead this charge, and as the go down, he'll bring out the first shot. He gets the first member. His teammate swings through as well, and as juanflatroo finishes the job, it's going to be a 3-man defense. It's not a single casualty taken by the first 2 who fell. And with that, Blink, they now lead 3-0. A great opening and a great chance to really pull ahead.
And a really strong buy round from them as well. They find that opening man advantage. Okay, it's traded 10-15 seconds later, but then they follow up with another, and then, well, they just completely shut it down when it heads towards B. Once again, an eco here from Granit. They actually pull out a couple of deagles and a little bit of Kevlar, just as I say it, but not too much for them to work with. Certainly no utility. Just trying to go for some aim jewels here, see if they can catch out a couple of members. And maybe do some damage here to the Blink economy that's really starting to establish itself quite nicely. Shine does exactly that. Beautiful headshot there to kick things off. But an instant trade from juanflatroo. Hype brings one back in retort, and all of a sudden we're in a 3-on-3. M4 retrievable. Blink, I don't think they'll be too challenged here, but they've certainly lost a couple of these rifles that they were hoping to hold on to.
Certainly feeling a bit happy with that, and well, Via, that's a nice shot as well. Granit, these Deagles are really putting out the miles for Granit, and Blink, realizing that it's going to be an A defense. We actually see aggression towards long from Gulito. I really like that call. He's on the off angle. He'll be able to cancel the plant, and look at that trigger discipline. Absolutely phenomenal. That'll be a fourth for Blink, and 4-0 lead. Granit now have to scratch their heads a little bit as they move to their first full buy. However, they got quite a bit done with those Deagles, so I think they'll be more than happy to kind of work on the basis of that. But nonetheless, very, very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. And I mean, Granit, I thought there was a chance there. Once they picked up those rifles, there was like, oh, wow, okay, it's a 2v2. They've got rifles in hand. There was a lack of Kevlar on Hype, which was a little bit of a shame. Makes that very difficult if he gets into a firefight. But yeah, they were just completely outmaneuvered. They have shown that they can win these Angels, though, and a couple of really nice shots with the Deagles fills me with a little bit of confidence. juanflatroo, though, nice bit of initiative to get aggressive in mid here, and it doesn't seem like anyone's suspecting it. GXX drawing the attention away. That's going to allow juanflatroo to go for this swing, eliminate the AWP and the bomb with it. Damage onto Shine, but can't follow through with the kill. But still a great early piece of aggression to give them these advantages. And it seems like sinnopsyy wants to try his hand at it, too.
It's aggression. It works perfectly. Alex eventually does finish the job, but just continue to push their way ahead. It goes down to a 3-on-3, and for Granit, they definitely kept them in a bit of a headlock for the time being. Granit, they've broken free from it. They fan out into this default. They have players towards long, 2 players towards B. Blink, if they keep this man count, if they keep this positioning, they're actually going to be in a pretty good spot. And if GX can find this kill on to Alex, then they're going to be in a very confident spot with what looks like just standard contact coming out from Monster. And GX, what a read, but oh, this is a read to their detriment as Via leads the charge forward. Few shots ring out either way, but there's no trade down into a 3-on-3. The smokes go out, the execution goes through. Via good for one. Via looks to double up, and sinnopsyy takes a lot of damage, and as the flashes continue, Gulito, he'll be the one to lead the charge up from water. sinnopsyy, he'll make a bit of noise just to keep his players back. And there's the first kill. Can he double up? Did he spot out Via? Yes, he can. Now it's all on Alex. Alone in a 1 versus 2. Shifting his way forward, knowing full well that he could take this duel any second now. And as that bomb is tapped, he finishes off the first member. Now into the 1 versus 1. Gulito scoped in, swings forward, misses the shots. Alex comes out on top. And for Granit, that'll be the first round.
Oh, it's a bizarre one from Blink. They go for the full commitment on that short hold, and it costs them. Not expecting Alex to be towards that monster area. And as we see those paramatch odds pop up on your screen, they actually tip further in Blink's favor as we've kicked off with a 4-1 start. If you want to place a bet on this game or any other game in the EDC wildcard, make sure you click on that banner down below. Head over to Parimatch, sign up, get that first-time deposit bonus. It's definitely not an offer you want to miss out on if you are betting. Of course, please be over 18. Please gamble responsibly, folks. But we're right back into the action, and GX kicking things off with headshots.
That he does, and well, Granit, they were able to respond on to 1, they were able to respond on to 2 with a nice shot onto juanflatroo. Nice shot by Hype. And with that equalizer, we see Granit make their way back around as they'll slowly look to get their way forward from connector. Alex on this angle, he's eventually able to find Gulito. It's messy, but it works. And even though damage has been done to him, that A site is going to be open for the taking if they continue to push their way forward. Of course, Granit, they just go quiet. It's spread out. They look like they're going to head towards B once again. And this setup, it worked before. Why change it? As the player of Alex will be trying to sell the fake on long. It all comes down to sinnopsyy and whether or not he plays for time. There's no utility to help Blink right now. So it's going to come down entirely to aim and, well, timing on top of that.
Look at that HP on Alex and Hype. It's a fear for me. It definitely should be for them as they creep up towards this P-bomb site. But Hype on the angle, ready for the aggression from sinnopsyy. sinnopsyy, though, he's found the only man with full HP. He's down to 50 himself, but this is a very doable 2-on-1. They are aware of his position, but he's got the bomb, doesn't realize the flank, and there we go. Dead to rights for sure. No!
Ooh.
Alex pulls the trigger. And all of a sudden, sinnopsyy actually has a chance here. There's the first. Needs to follow up with the second man around the pillar. And oh my goodness, he's clutched it up with 4 points of health to spare. And that's such a huge whiff from the man in heaven.
That is a massive mistake on Alex's part. So what a blunder. And for Granit, that is a kick to the teeth if ever I've seen it. And Blink, credit where credit's due. Yeah, it's a sinnopsyy for winning that. He shouldn't have. He genuinely shouldn't have. But the fact he came out on top just proves to his confidence. It attests to his skill. And as Blink now lead 5-1, Granite, they call for a pause, understandably so. A technical pause, probably because we saw someone smash their keyboard, but hopefully it shouldn't be too long.
You know, to call a technical pause after a round like that,
Someone's broke something.
Someone's broken something, yeah.
Yep.
Franson on for a 007 potentially. We'll wait and see if that comes into fruition as we go into the next round. I think they're actually going to be... Oh, no. We saw an AK come out. I was genuinely 100% sure they were going to go for a pistol half buy. Seems like Alex has got that hero AK.
It's ambitious to say the least, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, we've seen this hero AK like quite a lot recently. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think that it really doesn't work the majority of the time. But we'll wait and see. I don't want to kind of put it down just before it works. Like, he's been the one hitting the shots here for Granit so far. So let's see if he can pull off something with it as they head towards A. They've grouped together. They've been gifted fountain and toilets control. I think Blink are fully aware that Granit are going to be on a low buy. They don't want to give them the close range fights with those pistols. And instead, jump spotting towards the site.
The way forward, it's going to be a bit of a lull. They're playing for contact, and GX is letting them get all the way forward. The flash is timed to perfection, and now as he hides behind Dice, this AK from Alex is going to be a hero play, and, well, as he spotted out, it's a bit of damage done by GX. He's trying to double up onto Alex. He does not quite that. Alex with 2 kills on that AK. However, the rest of his team has just melted. The bomb's out in no man's land, and for juanflatroo, this should be a fairly quick trade, with Alex swung by everyone and quickly killed. 6-1 Blink now lead as we have what might be a bit of a quick series on our hands here, Josh.
We weren't gifted that yesterday, were we? We had 2 series that went the distance, full 3 maps, and just about everything else with it. This time, it's still early days. Yeah, it's definitely still early days. I don't want to say that Granite are out this one, but Blink are just looking like the better side here on Overpass, and considering this is their opponent's pick, it definitely does not fill me with confidence. As Granite head over to A early on once again, they're actually kind of going for this split where they take this connector control, they put a couple of members into Fountain. This time around though, GX trying to look for that pick on top of Party, spots out the arm, can't connect the bullet. But 1:30 on this clock and Blink still in full control. And still pressing for some information as well. Still kind of feeling around, going for these monster peaks. But you can see Senna right now supporting his teammate who's very aggressive in short. Gulito. He's got a fantastic angle right now, and one that's often overlooked.
Play for the timing, and as Granite made their way forward on long, it's going to be this little lull, this almost breath before the plunge, as Granite just spread out around the map there. Wait to see what Blink look to bring them, and with GX on this closer angle, open hands, this should be the initial pick with what looks like Hype about to peek into him. Does Hype come out on top? Ooh. Yes, he does. 2 quick kills as Gulito falls as well. And now juanflatroo with this close angle is really going to be the catalyst to make or break this round. There's the kill. He'll pick up that AK and back away. Granite now with only a 1-man advantage. He looks to hit towards B, and that suddenly puts this lone member under the pressure scenario. What good can he do? Well, at first think, can he double down? Yes, he can. Another quick kill. juanflatroo's there to double up as well, and now into a 2-on-2. Once again, this is a tough spot to be in, but Franson hits his shots. And now down to a 1 versus 2. juanflatroo moves his way forward into the awaiting AWP and AK of Granite. Let's go down either way. juanflatroo, he's playing for timing. Is he blessed or is he cursed? Type swings forward. There's the first kill, and it looks like it might be a blessing. Franson unable to get off the site. Continue to just dance around this pillar, knowing full well that juanflatroo about to speak straight into him, but he comes out on top. And Granite with a second round, and while it's messy and while it's close, Granite are able to slowly pull themselves ahead.
Well, as you see this Hellcase banner pop up, Creme, use code BLCKEDC or BLCKEDC15 to get a 15% refill bonus when you top up over at Hellcase. So add $10 and get £1.50 for free. It's as simple as that. You do not want to miss out on it if you head over to Hellcase. So make sure you get your pen out, write that code down, and check it out next time you're over at Hellcase. Of course, as we go into round number 9, we actually see Blink's economy completely shattered. Despite the fact that it's 6-2 and they've been winning quite a few rounds in a row, that CT side, everything's just very expensive, and they can't really afford to reinvest into this one. They're going to be completely mowed down by these AKs, and actually the Mac 10 on Alex will find himself a couple of kills as well, but damage being dealt here, and that Molotov, oh, it's perfect. sinnopsyy could find himself more here. Unfortunately not. Not enough bullets in that AK.
That looks pretty close for a second there, Josh. I feel he had the bomb there. The only thing that actually cursed it there was ammo. I think if he had more ammo, that would have been a really close round. Granit on the flip side, they're able to start getting the ball rolling. You know, they've strung 2 rounds together. They found that conversion. If they can win this round as well, that's like he's straight back into this game. And Blink, they're going to be acutely aware of that. They've got a fairly shaky buy. There's limited utility, and there's only a FAMAS on Scenarii, so it definitely could be better. Scenarii goes for the early pick towards Monster. Doesn't spot anyone straight away, but it's all well that Alex could be close, and Alex comes out on top. There's an opening, and with that, Blink now have to really make up for it with these players ready to just pounce on them. As Gulito jumps up onto center site, completely blinded. He can't cancel the plant just yet, though. And as he goes to that peak, there's the first player to fall. He'll jump up, doubles up, and with that, onto a 4-on-3. A man advantage for Blink now as they look to punish, and Shine's going to continue his aggression with Gulito making it a 3K. And now, all it comes down to for Granit is Alex and Hype. AK and AWP in hand. They don't have too much utility to worry about from both sides, but when it comes to Angels, Blink are in perfect position to trade, and with the only flash they have, it gets so much mileage. Josh?
Has just turned the flash, 118 and shot his teammate, and then died. Like, within a second. That is fantastic.
What?
I love that.
I'm trying to think of the thought process behind that.
There's no thought process. It's just turning around for a flash, seeing a guy behind you whilst you can hear a million footsteps and just panic shooting. That's what's happened there. At the end of the day, there was no opportunity for Granit to win that round. Blink played that retake to perfection. Gulito plays that position on top of the box just to the T. Really, really incredible stuff there, the way he's managed to pull that one off. And what's interesting about that is that was the first round that Granit actually just went for a hard, decisive execution. Every other round, we've seen them start off into this default, and then later on in the round after, they've maybe tried to find some opening picks, tried to find some control. A lot of the time, that's just kind of lost them a man advantage. But after they've tried to find that control, they then reconvene and head into an execute. That's the first time that they've just gone for like a hard hit towards B within the first 15-20 seconds. And whilst it got them the site, it got them the bomb plant, they just completely crumbled afterwards.
Oh, absolutely right. Well, that once again, Josh, that's an opening. Blink there. Looking pretty happy at the moment as they pull themselves ahead. We look over to Granit with a man down, 2 men down at that. sinnopsyy, beautiful crosshair placement. Doesn't even have to really move there. sinnopsyy, he's woken up on the right side of bed, and he was going ready to go on a rampage there. Granit will credit you to Hype to stop him because I think everyone was struggling to find a way to do so. And with GX, that's the second of the round. Hype falls, and for Via, where have his teammates gone? Well, juanflatroo finishes the job. So Via joins his teammates in death, and at 8-3, Blink, they cement the victory in the first half. What will be on everyone's mind now is to what extent?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, considering Granit don't have a lot of money, this has got to be pistols and armor, which means that Blink should more than likely get themselves onto 9. And you can see the confidence just flowing through them right now. sinnopsyy there on long, just having a field day, yeah? Taking all of the Angels. Ordinarily in a game, you'd see him find 1 kill, then maybe fall back. Maybe he'll go for the second, but no way would he be pressing for a 3rd kill in that scenario. But you can just see they're confident. They know that they're just better players than these guys, and they can continue to take these duels. Right now, GX forced back to the side, does miss his first shot, and that might actually allow a bomb plant here for these Tech-9s.
Unless juanflatroo goes huge, but the timing on that flash didn't quite work out. He's good for 1 before he too's killed. Now Shine aggressing forward in Hank good for 1 before sinnopsyy trades, and in this afterplant situation, Josh, it looks like this is probably one of the closer rounds Granit have had, and I think in the 2 rounds that they've had that have been kind of victories, it's really been off the back of pistols. So they seem to have their rhythm when it comes to these fast pistol plays, but Blink on the flip side, being a bit more methodical when it comes to guns. Smokes go down towards both bank and toilets with Via under a bit of pressure. That means that there'll be that first kill, but the flank comes through from long. Alex tries to get as much mileage as he can. There's 2 quick kills. It's all on Scenarii, alone in a 1 versus 1. Through the smoke, is he caught out? Oh, is he caught out, actually? Yes, eventually he is. As Franson provides Granit with a 4th. And Blink, with still double the round count, don't have double the money, as they are going to be under a bit of pressure to complete this buy here, Josh.
Well, that defuse must have been incredibly close, and it's bizarre. It feels like a bit of a catch-22 when it comes to Blink's not anti-eco rounds, but rounds where they're against these force buys, because you don't want to play close. You don't want to be contesting that fountain control because you don't want to be taking these close range fights with the pistols. But instead, they're then playing really deep on the site, giving up toilets, giving up fountain, allowing these Tech 9s to get up close and personal. And then it only takes a single whiff AWP shot to completely lose the site. And that's exactly what happened right there. I don't know what the answer is to that. Maybe it's kind of try and play these toilet angles, try and play the longer positions, maybe play divider there. I'm not too sure. But it's interesting that it's as simple as that, and the site just crumbles. Nice damage done, but Gulito's the man that comes out on top, and that's actually the bomb now down, and the man advantage here for Blink.
That's a really nice kill, and the fact he's able to get away as well is just incredible. We look at on the flip side, it's going to be down to Franson to try and trade. Does just that. There's the kill. Scenario, though, blessed by timing. Can't find the kill. And now it's going to be almost a bit of a rampage from Franson there, but juanflatroo and GX both ring true, leaving Hype alone in a 1 versus 2 with limited HP. One bullet will be what kills him, but one bullet will be what kills. And as he has to be wary of that boost, oh, that's a great read. He's not spotted though, and as he taps that bomb, he'll have to swing into them. Spotted out by the M4 as Blink hit 9. And I'll tell you what, Josh, that was, once again, very damn close. Look at these parry match odds appear on your screen now when they're pretty Blink-oriented. I think that parry match have no doubt in their minds as to who's going to be taking this. And bear in mind, these are the map odds, not the series odds. So, of course, we want to go place a bet onto what will be the series or the next map, or maybe this map. Go click on that banner down below and head straight to parry match.
And with those being the map odds, you got to remember that Blink are going to be moving on to their own map pick next. And it's a map that they're really strong on. Yeah, I think they were rocking like an 80% win rate. In fact, yeah, 83% win rate over on Inferno. Taking some great wins against some really strong teams. K23, Offset, Blue Jays, some strong sides. And I think that Granit should definitely be scared. They really do need to take overpass here if they want any chance in keeping this series competitive. And right now, they are being put to bed. sinnopsyy, 3 kills with the MP9, and GX even finishing things off with the USP. 10 rounds on the board here for Blink as they reach double digits. And as we go into the 15th of the half, are we going to see 11-4 or are we going to see 10-5? It doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but if they can follow it up with a pistol, it might just be the finisher.
Absolutely right. And honestly, I see this being a really, really Blink-oriented map. I think that for Granit, they've tried their best. We've seen early plays, we've seen fast plays, we've seen kind of really well-executed attacks, but Blink seems to have a solution for everything. We saw early short control, Blink just shut it down. Granit, because they have lost that map control, they don't really know what to do. They got players towards Con, they're forced to wait. Alex completely blinded, has no clue where the attack might be coming from. He opens that door, swings into it. Gulito able to get away, and Granit, they just can't make up that man differential.
Well, they do some damage, but sinnopsyy, as he takes another duel, if he wins it, might just be the final nail in the coffin here for round number 15. Instead, discipline, the fallback, the Molotov. juanflatroo, though, the timing and the whole positioning of him is just so strong. Him dancing around long, some at times getting aggressive towards middle. He's been such a fantastic player on the aggression. And this time, they burst right into B once again, and they're just being mowed down here.
He does 2 quick kills, and while Granit have taken a fair bit of damage, there's 2 HEs on short, which could absolutely ruin their day, and they do just that. juanflatroo onto Franson, leaves it all on Shine, alone in a 1 versus 2, and as he tries to sketch out these members, he spots them both out, makes a bit of noise, swings into them, a nice shot to GX, tries to double up, can't quite do so, and 11-4 at the end of the half on Granit's map pick. Josh, I think we might have a very quick affair on our hands.
I think so too. Yeah, this has not been a great game at all here so far for Blink. Not Blink. The team switched just as I was about to read the T-side. For Granit, of course, it's really not been a great one. Interestingly, Franson, after round number 6, he was going 006, and I called him out and was like, oh, maybe James Bond. And then he actually ends the half on nearly the most kills. So nice recovery from him individually. But as a whole, the team, they've just not really been finding any of these rounds. They've been finding kills, which I'm sure fills them with a little bit of confidence, but they've not actually been able to close out these rounds, especially in those post-plant scenarios. And as we see them just completely give up the B site, they're playing for the retake right now. Alex has found himself one opening headshot, but they need more than that to get back into this.
You're absolutely right with the follow-up kill. juanflatroo evens out the man count, but Hype, he keeps it even and brings it down to a 3 or 4 on 3 now. More damage being done as Blink just carry their retake positions. They know full well that Granit going to be pushing into them, and Gulito, he's got 2 quick kills in his hand, which should be what cements the round. We've got juanflatroo who's playing for time, and Scenari's there. Just click on heads. Blink off the pistol round, make it 12-4, and Josh, I think that pistol round might be what dictates the rest of this game. Of course, look at the parry match odds. They don't even show them. They know full well this is over. And of course, if you believe that Blake are going to be able to take the next map, go click on that banner down below, head over to Parry Match, and put your money where your mouth is. However, for Granit Gaming, let's see what they can do with what will be a couple of deagles come out. There's the odd bit of armor to complement it, but it's a shaky buy to say the least. Josh and Blink, they're going with this at kind of very disciplined approach. There's only one Mac 10 that comes out, so they're really trying to just take this out quickly.
They absolutely are, yeah. And I mean, Blink right now, huge advantage in terms of firepower and whatnot. Granit playing this very, very disciplined. 3 players towards that B site. That pistol round strat, whilst we've got a little bit of a kind of quiet before the storm to talk about it, very bizarre. It almost seemed like a little bit of an anti-strat, but they were playing retake B without any utility, which is something that is quite difficult. If they had a couple of flashes there, maybe a molly or a HE to try and stop that plant, maybe they would have had a better chance there in that situation. I'm not really sure what they were going for with that connector and B short control, but maybe they just weren't expecting the fast B push from Blink. Either way, it cost them that all-important round. That was their one win condition to get back into this game. And now they have to get it done with a force buy. Nice boost over towards long. They should actually spot out a member, but they're going to realize they're so close. That's a beautiful shot, though, from Hype.
That beautiful shot allows Scenari to try and land aggression. Flashes go down, but Franson's there on the close angle. He'll be swinging into these members, though, and as he's just forced away, he'll take the odd bit of damage here or there. Finished off by Gulito. sinnopsyy on the flip side. What good could he hope to do? There's another quick kill as it falls down to a 3-on-3. Hype scoped in. Hype misses his shot, though, as he cows towards Optimus. He's missing a lot of shots as sinnopsyy is able to keep it even. And down to a 2-on-2. More of these AKs try to pepper these members with Shine falling while his teammates in rotation. Via has no way to trade. Eventually he does onto sinnopsyy. Down to the 1v1. Jex has been able to get away. And Via now in a very, very tough spot. No kit to his name. No utility to help out his attack. And while Jex doesn't have much utility to assist his resolve, he still has an AK and he still has range to play with. And well, as that time ticks down, a cruel mistress that waits for no one, especially not Via, who's annihilated by GX, providing Blink with a 13th. And at 13-4, Josh, yesterday we had 3 mappers. Yesterday was pretty damn hard, but it looks like they've credited us today with a bit of an easier day. So thank you, our admins.
Yeah, well, maybe not the admins. Maybe there's a higher power, a Counter-Strike god that overlooks all of our games and says, "Oh, those guys were given a tough time yesterday. Let's give them an easy one today."
I reckon that's the same god that makes me miss every shot I fire.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably the same one.
Well, yeah, but that same god blesses you with your beautiful casting voice. So
that's true.
Can't have everything, Cremo. Can't have everything.
Would rather be able to aim and CS. I won't know. It's down to now 1-on-3. It looks pretty even there. Granit actually had a man advantage, but it's just wiped, isn't it? Now Hype, one of the last men left standing, Deagle in hand. He'll make his way down towards CT, but in a 1v3, Josh, what can he do?
Probably not a whole lot. They've had a couple of really nice headshots in this round, and I thought that maybe there was a chance when they brought it into that 3-on-3, found a couple of big 1-deags. But no, Blink, they just recover it very nicely. It's something that they've consistently done throughout this series. Not this series, throughout this map so far. They kind of take a couple of blows and they go, oh, wow, okay, now we're in like a 2v2 or a 3v3. But consistently, they've closed out those rounds. And that's not luck, yeah? That's That's not down to chance. That is down to the fact that they're able to recover those situations very, very well. And actually, instantly, you can tell that their communication and their whole coordination as a side is fantastic, because when they're at a bit of a disadvantage, they regroup and they make sure that they play to what advantages they have. As we go into round number 19, this could certainly be map point here for Blink if they can overcome this, well, second to last hurdle. Granite, they're on a full buy, but they really don't have a lot of util to work with. Not a single helmet on any of those members, and Hype's actually on the glass cannon. So whilst you look at those rifles and you think, oh, this is a full buy, it's actually quite far from it. Only a single kit in play as well.
They make their way forward. It's going to be a chance to try and just counteract whatever they can. And as they push their way forward, it's going to be a chance for Granite to just hold firm and burn down that clock. While they have limited utility, only 2 mollies to negate an attack, they do still have a few smokes to kind of be deployed off the back of game sense, as well as a few flashes to deter any presence or map control. Blink, the only area they're attacking is actually the one place that Granite don't have a defender, and that's the long. As they make their way forward, Hype he'll aggress towards toilets to try and keep that map control, but for Blink, all it comes down to is just this well-timed attack. There's 30 seconds left. And while Granite have got a bit of a stack, it's a good read, but is it going to be a good duel? There's the first kill with sinnopsyy shutting down Hype. The AWP falls, and as the aggression comes out, it's a follow-up trade with sinnopsyy onto Franson. Alex keeps it down with only a 1-man disparity, but Alex, he still needs to make up for the fact that he's still a man down. He'll continue to show presence from back. Shots ring out from sinnopsyy. He's carrying in the corner, knowing full well they've got to push into him. But as the nades continue to go down, fire in such a tough spot. Alex there to trade, down to a 3-on-3. Follow-up push goes through, and as Blink continue to just hold position on site, juanflatroo good for 1, doubles up as well onto Alex, all on Shine, alone in a 1 versus 3, swung from all angles, and dispatch. It's going to be Blink at 15-4, and it looks like a summarily execution of Granite Gaming.
Well, as we see the Paramatch banner pop up for what should be the last time this game. Remember, if you do want to place a bet on this one or any other game in the EDC wildcard, or actually any other game in the EDC, the main event, when it comes around very, very soon, then make sure you head over to Paramatch to do so. Click the banner below to get your first time deposit bonus. Round number 20, Kramer, could be the last one here. And this has been a very, very one-sided game indeed. Granite Gaming, they might be able to pull back a couple of rounds towards the end here, maybe make this scoreline look a little better. But at the end of the day, oh no, there's no chance for it. That's unreal from sinnopsyy. They deserve the win right here, right now. That's nuts.
Well, for a moment, it looked like it could have gone either way. Am I right, Josh? But that was just nuts. And as Franson shifts his way down to CT, he's smoked off. He's not got any hope in hell. And for Granite, they're going to be stomped on their map pick as Blink really show us that they're a team to worry about. And I'm actually pretty glad yesterday when you asked me at the very start of the wildcard kind of bracket, is there a team to watch out for? And I went, yes, Blink. I'm glad that they're now doing well, because if I said yes, Blink, and they ended up getting destroyed, that would have been a little bit embarrassing. So I'm glad that they're keeping my dignity and really just stomping Granite there.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the wildcard bracket, Kramer, I feel like they were given one of the easier games. Yeah, but I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit. They have looked fantastic today. And I mean, they're a side that they have just been putting up fantastic results recently. So even if they did turn up a little bit cold today, you could still shrug it off and say, oh, well, they've been doing well recently. Yeah, but they're showing they're still on fire. Yeah, they are still a real force to be reckoned with. And actually, I think from what we've seen so far today, potentially contenders for the whole thing, yeah? Potentially contenders for the whole wild card, and actually being able to obtain that spot in the main event. I think they'd be a really good team to see go through. But that's map 1, yeah? We've still got another map in this series, potentially 2. And off of the back of a 16-4 win on their opponent's pick, what's in store for us on Inferno, Kramer? Does it get any more one-sided than that? Do we see Granite bounce back? Or is this one just going to be a very, very fast series?
I also see this being a fast series. There's no way Granite come back on Inferno. I just can't see it happening. And before we go to a quick break, we're going to talk about our partners. We've got a new partner, Josh. We got Visit Malta. It starts sounding like a travel agency, but of course, Visit Malta. Get your tan on this summer and visit the Maltese Islands. For information, go to their website, visitmalta.com. And well, I know I'll be looking at that website before I head out to visit you when you end up moving to Malta. Maybe we could do some casts from Malta. That'll be entertaining. But anyway,
yeah, if my internet's good enough, Kramer.
If your internet's good enough for Malta, we'll have to see. We're going to do some quick little break. When we return, we're going to see map 2 of Inferno. Can Granite come back? we'll have to see.
Headshot, nice. Fist bumps go to the teammates. I wanna hear your go, go, go. I wanna see you falling fast. Win the round. Win the game. Pretty much. They play, you win. only few seconds to close this round, and what will we see? Headshot! Nice! These bombs go to the teammates. I wanna hear your go, go, go. You make them feel your smashing blow. I wanna know your action, Lord. Power up your wiener mode. I wanna see you rolling fast. Win the round. Rise to fame. Hold the ground. Win the game. Make them shout. Fuck them all. Very much. They play, you win.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the European Development Championship, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. And the topic of gaming excellence, Josh, what a game we just saw between Blink and Granit. Blink came out on top, head and shoulders over Granit, winning 16-4 on Granit's map. They would look at these pairing match odds, and at 1-5, essentially, to rounding 1-6. It doesn't surprise me that Blink are heavy favourites going into their map pick of Inferno. Of course, I'll be Castle Crema 3, and I'm joined by the wonderful M&J.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw absolute domination on Overpass, didn't we? And that's a map that Blink, I mean, they play it, they're not too bad on it, but it's not their home map. And as we move on to Inferno, it's one of their really, really strongholds. It's kind of the one that they often pick into. And I think, I mean, I don't know if it gets much more one-sided than a 16-4. I think anything kind of more than a 16-8, 16-9 just falls into one big pool of that's a really convincing win. But we'll have to wait and see, because Granit, they really weren't taking just anything. Yeah, and in that last Overpass match, we saw a couple of rounds that didn't look too bad. But to be honest, the rounds that they won were often off of the back of these kind of crazy force buy rounds, where like one that kind of comes to mind is where they just bought Tech 9s and they rushed A, and it kind of fell off the back of a couple of whiffed AWP shots from the site member. There was nothing particularly convincing about it. There was nothing particularly good about like the rounds that were taken. And I think that kind of plays on your mind a little bit when you get completely dominated in a game. You go into the next map and you say, oh, wow, like even the rounds that we took last game were kind of off of the back of like crazy plays. That Granit roster right there was definitely not Granit. That was Entropic. That's the one.
Yeah, absolutely right. And, well, as we move on to what will be the pistol round to get things underway, it's going to be fairly util heavy over towards Granit. We see a couple of smokes, the odd nade and flash on Alex, and Hype with a kit on Hype. Blake on the flip side, they go as this with two smokes, a molly and a flash to get them forward. Shine instantly dinked down by juanflatroo, and that's an opening as Granit takes a little bit of damage. They're forced away. They actually go for a 4-man stack towards the safe site, just in kind of lieu of that early dink. And for Blink, they're going to get ready for this initial attack. They stack up towards Banana. They get ready to onslaught Alex, who's alone. And the issue is, Alex, with only utility, he's going to be hard-pressed to try and survive this, because one dink and one body shot, and that's that. His nade is a bit premature, and as the push comes forward, is the smoke and flash able to get him through? Yes, it is. It's in perfect timing, and as Alex shuts down sinnopsyy, that's actually going to completely deter Blink from pushing through it.
That's a big play there from Alex. A very nice headshot to find as well, and an important one to connect. As you see Blink All right back off Banana. They're going to head towards this A site. Shine's there with only 3 points of health. And Gulito, I think he'll reaggress a little bit later in the round or maybe try and catch out the players in rotation. The issue is they've got a two-man disadvantage right now. So any gunfight that they take, they kind of need to trade. Well, they can't even trade 2-for-1. They need to just be winning these duels. And there we go. Gulito to find the first as they're caught in rotation. GX coming in from the back around. And actually the bomb going all the way back down Banana. Just about enough time to get on this site and get the C4 planted. And actually, Blinker played this perfectly.
Absolutely have. And while the bomb does go down, they're still left in a 1-2 versus 4, Josh. And with Shine on low HP, it's doable by no stretch of the imagination. But with kits and with util in the hands of Granit, I think Blink are going to be in a very hard spot. And if Blink win this round, it isn't at their victory, it's at Granit's loss. And as Granit make their way forward into ruins, Gulito, does he go for a peek? Not yet. He's prime timing assists him, and as Scenarii just peeks to the other side of ruins, he sees that no one's actually fighting him. Instead, spots out Shine, and with that, there's the first player to fall. Turns around, as full well as others. Fire comes out on top, and Granit, they take their pistol rounds. Josh, they actually do much better than they did on their pistol round for Overpass, and Blink, they stagnate a little bit.
That's a great start from Granit, especially on Blink's map pick, to have a pistol round like that where they're actually connecting all their shots. They're saying, we're here to play. We're not just going to roll over and get demolished this series. Blink, I mean, credit to them for actually sort of outmaneuvering their opponents in that final scenario and actually getting that bomb plant. But I feel like they probably would have got the same result had they just grouped together as a 3 and hit the B site from Banana anyway. So at the end of the day, bomb plant gives them a little bit of extra cash to work with, means that they will go for this pistol 4 spy, and it's actually going to merit them the opening kill.
That early kill, it goes down to Blink, who's going to be shutting down Alex, and as it falls down to a 4-on-3, more nades go out. There's the odd bit of damage done to Franson, and the MP9 tries to ring true. Hype is the one to lead this charge, tries to tag down what he can, and with that, sinnopsyy finishes the job for Via and Franson, the last 2 members left standing. It's down to a 3-on-2 with both of them looking to shift their way forward. Franson, AUG in hand, tries to tag down this play. That he does. And now suddenly Blink in a lot of trouble considering the HP of GX and juanflatroo. The plant goes down. Franson finishes the job. And that's definitely a confidence builder as Granit now lead 2-0.
A little bit of a shaky one. The Tech 9s, they were able to do a lot of damage. I'm actually really surprised considering they burst up Banana instantly. They took the jewels on the players on site and won them. That they didn't get that bomb planted earlier. I'm not sure if it was delayed. We kind of didn't get to see it from the delay perspective, but if that was the case, makes sense. But if it wasn't, then Blink needed to just tap in those digits a little bit earlier, apply that pressure before Granit got too close. I don't think Gulito is going to be too phased by that Molotov. I think it landed a little too far to the right, but Scenarii drops early. These Eagles not getting too much done here in what is just another little 4 spy here from Blink. And a beautiful headshot there from Alex. That was very snappy.
That it was. And for Blink, this is quite a tough position to be in with what will be these players making their way forward. Jex, that's a nice kill, but it's only 1. And as we see, Granit now lead 3-0. Josh, I think this is going to be a bit of a closer game, one of which Granit might be able to come out on top with, because Blink, they really have just been fairly convincingly shut down on these first few rounds. However, now they move to the AKs, and this is really where we get to test Granit's mettle on the CT side of Inferno.
If Granit win this buy round, they will have already exceeded their round count over on Overpass. So definitely something that they're looking for, and actually I think that they might be able to pull it off. They've looked very strong in these last couple of rounds. Their Inferno looks a lot better than their Overpass was. Their Overpass seemed very disjointed. Not that we really got much of an opportunity to watch their CT side. I think, yeah, what was it? The round was wrapped up. In fact, the game was wrapped up in 20 rounds.
Yeah,
so
19-20 rounds.
Yeah, so we saw like 15 T rounds that were really weak, and then a couple of CT rounds. But I mean, maybe Granit are just not very good on their T side when they move over in the half switch. Maybe that's where we'll see them slow down. But right now on Inferno, they're looking really good, and they're playing some nice disciplined CS via their jiggle peeking, ready to deploy the smoke, just keeping the opponents at an arm's length for as long as he can, and actually, yeah, forcing him right off the angle. Blink are going to regroup, head over towards this B site, where there's actually only 1 defender posted, so a good chance here for Blink to obtain this bomb site.
What we found a lot of the time is that Blink, they actually have the right call in where the stack is of Granite, and they go to the other site, but just that little bit of deterrence utility that we usually see thrown by Alex is single-handedly enough to make him just run. This time, though, they commit to it. There's the first kill. Alex falls. Trade, not there either, and that is exactly where we're going to see Granite just stagnate completely. Hype, he's playing bonus because he did only have an MP9, switches to the AK, but he's still going to push into these crosshairs. As he's finished off by Sinnopsyy, it all falls down to Franson alone in a 1 versus 4, and he's just going to cling to this AUG.
Still mistakes made. Juanflatroo there pushes right through the smoke without his gun out. GX hunting alone, and Blink, they'll take a couple of casualties at a time where they can't really afford to. Yeah, they've found those opening picks. They've taken the site. I'd have liked to just see them kind of fall back towards Banana, play their lives, play the bomb, and try and keep everybody kicking because they don't have a lot of money to reinvest here. So losing a couple of members, definitely costly. And as we see these parry match odds pop up, they're still massively one-sided in Blink's favor. Now, to be honest, I agree with this. Yeah, I agree that Blink are still the firm favorites here. However, considering the fact that Granite have found these early 3 rounds and they are looking much better here on Inferno, I'm surprised that those odds haven't shifted at all. But remember, if you fancy those odds and you want to place a bet on this game or any other here in the EDC wildcard, make sure you click on that banner down below. It'll take you over to Parry Match where you can sign up and get a first-time deposit bonus. You don't want to miss it, folks. Round number 5, and this is a bizarre round from Granite because they've not really got too much to work with, but they've got double snipers, both on, in fact, one on glass cannon.
Well, Fletcher, that's going to be a early opening, shut down 2 members, and he pretty much single-handedly opens up the A site. Franson now alone towards his position on short, and through the smoke, he's finished off by GX. There's the A site. It swings open like a door in a gale, and for Granite, these last 2 members, they'll make their way down from B, and they'll just cling to their weapons. They've got no choice but to, as Blink make it 2.
Yeah, this save call, definitely the right one to make. Alex really needs to make sure he stays alive here. Shine doesn't matter all too much. If he loses this MP9, it's not the end of the world, so he can just play bodyguard right now. But to be honest, going into this next round, Granite aren't really going to have any money to work with. I think they'll actually almost certainly be on an eco in the next. So this AWP will just be a damage maker. It will be something that can try and do a little bit of damage, and perhaps on top of that, maybe try and save again going into the buy round. We'll have to wait and see what Blink actually go for moving forward. But I like this from Blink. Not really hunting. They've kind of, I mean, they've hunted like a little bit. They wouldn't be in T-spawn otherwise. But they're not pressing really hard to take away that AWP. They know that it's probably over towards the B site. And instead, they're just going to chill and play tic-tac-toe. That's what we like to see.
Do you know how to win tic-tac-toe? Like, consistently?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, well, for those who don't, just go pick a corner and then just do the opposite corner.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have to have the mid start. Yeah, you have to have the one in the middle. Otherwise, that doesn't work. So it only works like 50% of the time because, assuming you take it in turns to start in the middle because you're a fair tic-tac-toe player,
right?
Then it only works when you get to the middle start. Which, yeah, I know my professional tic-tac-toe strats, man. I play it all the time.
You're pro tic-tac-toe before a caster.
Yep. That was my previous career.
I respect that. You know what else I respect? I respect the fact that we're going to see Blink just look to bomb their way forward towards this B site. Granted, they've been outmaneuvered. There's only 2 players there. A lot of them aren't even in kind of spitting range of this. With Scenario shutting down Franson, do they expect Shine? And Shine goes to trigger discipline. Good for 1. Trades out Scenario. Goes down to a man advantage for Granite, but it's still a retake. And it's still an afterpart scenario, which Blink are going to look to hold. And with players towards Banana, they're fairly well dug in. As sinnopsyy, he'll consider a push all the way down towards the position in CT. GX with this up. This will deter a push from Hype, who is just going to push ahead with his USB. And right now, Hype is doing a great job at keeping GX at bay. For GX, he's just got to try and eventually finish the job. That he does. Hype falls, and that kills Banana. Now with that, Granite then just back away and save. Understandably so, as we see Blink tie things up 3-3.
Yeah, with no kit in play there, they're not going to justify going for that retake. It's a big play from Shine to give them some kind of opportunity, but with the lack of Kevlar on the other 2 members, and actually lack of anything on the other 2 members, it is definitely just an easy save call to make. And it means that this scoreline, it will go 3-3. Blink, yeah, they've tied it up very, very nicely indeed. But you know what? That's a great round from Granite. They've actually offered the back of saving an AWP and an MP9 in the last. They've waved their magic wand. They've turned it into an AWP and 2 AKs. And as they go into the buy, it means they've actually got those rifles that pack a bit of an extra punch, that one-hit headshot potential on those AK-47s. And they've got a little bit of spare cash behind them. Full util, kits all round. This is a good buy here from Granite. And this is where they need to bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely right. And as they look to just try and get into a doable situation at that, it's a lot of util expended to fight for Banana, but there's no side really coming out on top. We see Granite just back away and hold firm as we await to see just where the blink attack comes from. And as they all congregate around mid, it could go either way. They seem like they're going to be more than flexible as to where they attack, but as they shift forward, it looks like it will be towards A. Flashes go out, the set piece goes down, and this forces Franson out of apps. But more importantly, forces sinnopsyy into long, ready to duel Hype for this position. The remaining players of Brink push their way forward towards B, and with that, Hype needs to be pretty damn careful.
Well, the smoke, it's going to force him off the angle. He's going to wrap around towards Archway. Needs to be careful that no one's crossed in that time. As he actually starts to aggress, I think he'll realise that it's just sinnopsyy on the lurk. If sinnopsyy wins this duel, then it's so key. And there we go, he finds it. That now means that the CT player has to divert his attention to watching the flank. He can find it, but it means that the Ts can push right out onto the B site. They don't even need to smoke CT. They know that that man's distracted, and they can walk right in, get this C4 planted, and play with this man advantage as Granite desperately trying to hold on to the site that was once theirs. And I'm not even sure if they're going to go for this retake, Kremer. As they retrieve the AWP, I think they're just going to fall away and save it.
I fully expect them to back away and hold these guns. They do just that. So a great round by Blink there, and a great positioning by sinnopsyy, because even if sinnopsyy dies, he's done his job, which is to pull a player away from B. The fact he kills a player and then is able to continue to keep that other man distracted is just incredible. And it means that Blink, they get that site with a 4-1 to fight for the site. And as the push comes through, there's Franson falling in pit, and the remaining players of Granite slowly being hunted now, with Via desperately trying to hold on with his teammate there to support him. This is what avail. Via, he's spammed down, he's even killed as well his teammate Alex. Was he just baiting him?
I don't know. I would quite like to see that again. I think he was. I think he was just in mini pit, tucked head down. That is very, very bizarre indeed. As we see the Hellcase banner pop up, remember code BLCKEDC15 for that 15% refill bonus when you top up your balance over at Hellcase. Make sure you don't miss out on that one, folks. It's a good offer. It's free money. As we go into round number 8, Blink, they've finally taken the lead here after Granite's fantastic start. The 3-round kickoff that they started us off with. They've not really been able to find anything else, have they? We've had fairly close rounds, but no wins for them.
Absolutely right. And as Blink make their way forward, it'll be their attack over towards top Banana. Shine, he'll look to hold, and there's the aggression, shutting down Scenarii. And while he is tagged down fairly low, he still survives. juanflatroo, he falls down, and now it looks like Blink may have got a bit ambitious with their attack. Granite, on the flip side, have been able to shut them down pretty convincingly towards mid and B. And now as the push comes out, Shine hits sinnopsyy there. A bit of a slow reaction from sinnopsyy as he's left in a 5-on-2. And for Blink, the CT execution goes down, so they can try and get this bomb. They can try and retrieve it, but even then, it's a tall order. The follow-up smoke means that gulito is going to have to just run through a smoke, and while the single flash is deployed to get them out, Via is also ready in a position to just flank anyone who comes their way. Hype finishes off gulito. It's all on GX, alone in a 1 versus 5. Spots out the player towards T-spawn. He knows full well he's going to be in a lot of trouble. As those smokes go out, he might just chuck the AWP out the map, pick up that AK, and just save what he can.
Yeah, wants to just try and fight for his life here. It's smart to be throwing that AWP up the server. You see there's not a single one here for the CTs, and they're going to be running over and hoping that it's somewhere lingering, and it's just not. I think at that point they realize that it has just been thrown out of the map. Blink have got more than enough cash to reinvest here, but that's a really nice response from Granite, keeping this one contentious, not allowing Blink to just steal the show once again. We tie things up 4-4. And actually, we find ourselves in a completely even Steven scenario. Other than the fact that GX has got himself a sniper and there's no sniper to contend here on the defense, everybody else, rifles, utility, similar amount of cash in the bank behind them. And a nice early start here. Nade damage kept to a minimum over towards Banana as both teams playing with discipline. Blink looking for this early advantage, but Via not overstepping here, clearing the apartments, but not aggressing any further.
Continue to hold, and as the odd smoke goes down, as the odd bit of util goes down, Blink, they continue to just fan out around the map and look to hold firm with, again, a Granite. They look to just play a bit more passive now. They know full well that Blink are going to be on a free buy, and they know full well that they're on the potential to be reset, not completely reset, because they have a little bit of money, but not too much. And with that, Shine, he's shoulder peeking from Coffins. Alex is all the way back towards second oranges, hopefully towards new box now. And for Blink, it's just a matter of shifting forward, being as quiet as humanly possible, and then looking to just explode out to a site and hope that they can catch Granite off guard. And looking at their setup, this is a really good setup if you're looking to kind of challenge 2 or 3 members. In a 5-on-2, that setup is the sort of position where they're good for 1 before they are traded out. And as Shine hides towards second oranges, he just jumps down. He's finished off instantly as Scenarii. He didn't even fight him. He went straight to new box to dispatch that first member. juanflatroo finishes the job, and Granite straight to save Josh.
Yeah, juanflatroo right through the smoke there. This is the Blink that I remember seeing on Overpass. Pure domination as they burst onto the site. And just winning all of the Angels as well. juanflatroo kills the guy on new box, spins around to span through that CT smoke and doubles down with it. Eliminates any opportunity a retake and pushes Granite right into that early save call. There is no way they're getting back into that one. As we go into the 10th, it's going to be Blink taking the lead once again. So Granite still on the back foot. They're still trailing, but as long as they can keep this one competitive, I still have hope for them. My issue is that their T side on Overpass was really weak. So if we see anything similar here on Inferno, I think they are really going to struggle. And with that, they need to take more rounds here on their defense.
You're absolutely right. And for Granite, they call this tactical timeout. I like the fact they're calling these timeouts. I would have rather seen them actually use a single timeout on Overpass, but Blink, they just stomped them there. Now they're actually able to keep it a bit even. Blink, they've got a pretty strong economy, so they can risk going for clutches. They can risk going for faster plays. Granite, they need to be acutely aware that for every player they lose, it's going to be felt so badly in their wallets that they just need to hold on wherever possible. And even then, it'll be a tall order.
It absolutely will be, as we see a little timeout come through before we get right back into this one. It's a full buy here from Granite. I mean, both of these teams have kind of established themselves with enough money that they can continue to go for these full buys as long as they continue to trade rounds. I like that there. Via, press D on a chicken. That means the chicken's going to follow him for the rest of the round. Isn't that exciting? He's collecting them.
I hate that mechanic in chickens. I execute every chicken I see.
I collect them. I actually get really upset when people kill my chickens.
We probably shouldn't play for a bit.
You kill my chickens, I kill you.
I promise you I'm going to kill your chickens. So we're going to see Blink push their way ahead. They'll congregate towards the bottom of mid. And as a few nades go down, GX, he's forced away. And Granite, while a few flashes go down, they're actually going to look to defend as Blink just explode out towards top banana. They might continue going as well, as there goes the flashes. Scenarii leads that charge. He's spammed out by Alex, who's just going to be hiding towards first orange. Scenarii being caught out by his own flash there, so he has to turn from it. Gulito to trade, forces it down to an after-plant situation, and the molly means that Granite can't challenge. Once again, Blink get this site relatively uncontested, and now in a 4-on-2. Granite, they're so close that saving might be out of the option, at least for Shine. sinnopsyy spots about. Can't find the kill, though. So Shiny is just trying his best, but it's only his best, and hype. He's just got a cow towards long. Really nice M4, though, Josh.
It is a nice M4, isn't it? I mean, it's blue, but it is cool. It's like it's like an M4 Sapphire or something. It's like shiny. You get the light on it, and it looks very snazzy.
Tell you what M4 I wish I had. Do you remember the Orion?
The M4 Orion?
No, M4, sorry, USP Orion. That was...
Yes, yeah,
that was like... Back when that skin came out, that was like the key time to be playing CS. And take a look at these power match odds. They're actually less in favor of Blink, but about equal on Granite since the start of the game. So it shows they're still favoring Blink heavily. Of course, if you want to go place a bet on Blink and or on Granite, if you think they're going to come back, go click on that banner down below, head over to Parry Match and go through with that, as of course, those are our main partners, and Parry Match, they've made this whole thing possible.
They absolutely have, and they're the place to be if you want to be betting on any of these matches. Round number 11, Blink look to extend their lead further as they face up against just a pistol buy here. Hype with that saved M4 from the last, looking to try and do some damage. And I like this from Shine. Previously, he's been playing really defensive, often towards new box or first and second oranges here on Banana. Or not Banana, on B. This time he's actually facing Banana, and, well, he finds the opening headshot with it. Still sticking around to hopefully find more, but no, it costs him his life. That's the B site now open, but will Blink realize it, or will they walk into this A stack?
It's a bit of a lull, but these Eagles, they ring true pretty well. And actually,
Ooh.
Hyper's M4 is put to good use. And with that, it falls down to sinnopsyy. Alone in a 1v2. Josh, we saw Blink actually stagnate a little bit here as sinnopsyy continues to just shift his way forward. He knows full well that Hype's going to be just making his way away from long and peeks into him. sinnopsyy, he'll get a bomb plant. And with this bomb plant, sinnopsy's going to be in a really strong spot. And as he makes his way over towards short, he might even be able to challenge Hype before his teammate gets there. That he does, and now this is scary. Via, with only 19 HP, without a gun, sinnopsyy's in a perfect position, and little does Via know, he hasn't even left the site. He's hiding in the corner, a great read by sinnopsyy. He's even heard the player on long as well, so he knows full well what he's doing. Via, he clears this angle, fair play to him, but he does. It's not good enough, though. sinnopsyy comes out on top. Blink with 7 in. What shouldn't have been that close, but a beautiful clutch by sinnopsyy.
sinnopsyy's timing there is just absolutely perfect on that swing. Really, really fantastic stuff. And it puts Blink on to 7, so not a bad half here for them, and anything they take further than that is, well, just bonus, really. I mean, they're definitely looking for more here. There's no way that they're just going to say, oh, yeah, we're done now. This is fine. This is a good half. They've still got plenty of rounds to play with. They could extend this into a 10-5 and 11-4. That's what we saw over on Overpass. And there we go. Nice opening pick found. Is traded back, but instantly back in Blink's favor as Gulito gets one more. And I think he's aware there's one more here in the smoke as well, as sinnopsyy connects shots with him and actually finishes him off.
With that, Granit, 2 players are standing, holding on as best they can, but once again, saving may be the only option, as Blink, they have a very convincing site take. The plant goes down, and it falls down to a 3-on-2. Via and Franson, both players looking to hold as Gulito looks to lead this charge. Via shuts him down. A nice shot by Via, but it is 2-on-2. Down to this player, sinnopsyy. He's the one in the close angle. As Via pushes into him, he's caught out. Franson now alone in a 1 versus 2, and he has very limited economy. If he falls here, it's going to be straight down to an eco for Granit, and Blink, they're going to be acutely aware of that. sinnopsyy finishes the job. 8-4 Blink lead, and Josh, it looks like we are going to see a very one-sided affair as Granit goes straight down to pistols.
Absolutely. This is going to be the 9th potentially here for Blink, and this is where it really does start to get complicated, doesn't it? Granit just down to these pistols again. Previously, we saw them have a decent amount of success with the pistols. They weren't actually able to close out the round, but they were able to keep it quite contentious, keep us on the edges of our seats at the very least. But now round number 13. Bit of a stack towards B here. This is interesting, but the flash, it's perfect. 1-for-1 trades, and Via, he loses his life. The flashbang, it's perfect.
It's absolutely perfect, and we fall to Granit, who have just 1 player left standing, and as Alex tries to finish the job, brings out a few shots and hides towards second oranges, but as they know he's there, it's going to be juanflatroo to finish the job, and with that, Granit, they just... It's like we always see the scenario. A 3-on-2 retake for Granit with limited guns. And Hype, I don't really want to see him go for this. I would rather see him try and save one of the guns of his teammates who have fallen and or the enemy who's fallen. And just work with that. Franson, he'll deploy the odd nade to go through. Through the smoke, he deletes sinnopsyy. And suddenly this is very doable. Well, juanflatroo, he needs to be careful. That almost hit him. He's actually able to fall to Franson. And what a shot by Franson there as Granit. They make it 5 off the back of that. And granted, I don't quite see the repeatability in that, but dear Christ, that was clean.
I mean, that's unreal. He's just 1D'd the planter through the smoke. He's then lined up the player on top of the boost above Shadow, which is like quite an uncommon position. He's actually put his crosshair on his head, and I'm thinking, oh geez, don't do this to him. He's actually swung, caught him on the drop, and then 1D'd that final orb. That is unbelievable. I talked before about the fact that these guys kept it contentious in the last Deagle buy. This time, they've actually taken it over the top. They put themselves onto 5, and they stopped Blink from making 9 rounds here in the half. They still need to win the next 2 to call this one a good one. But, I mean, that's a big round to win.
Absolutely is. These smokes go down. Hype with the aggressive angle towards Zaps. He'll be dueling the bomb planter as well. So as that flash goes out, Franson hiding on the other side of this smoke. Completely blind, tries to hide. juanflatroo unable to kill him. And Granit, that is a ironclad defense. As it falls down to Gulito, alone in a 1 versus 4. Spots out the first member, can't get out of Boiler. And for Granit, that is a very, very convincing 6th.
Absolutely, yeah. Much better round there from Granit. And as we go into the 15th of the half, the final of the half, I should say, this game has actually been incredibly close. So I don't want to say I was expecting Blink to just walk in and completely steamroll it off of the back of that 16-4. I was expecting it to, I don't know, maybe be a little bit closer. I wasn't expecting it to be this back and forth affair we've seen so far. This could be an 8-7 half, and Blink could actually be in trouble here. We were maybe getting a little bit too confident on the 2-0 right now, Kramer, and Granit, they still have a lot of equity in this match. juanflatroo does find a nice opening pick there, and the goal here for Blink is to push it onto a 9-6. That would be a good half for them given the circumstances. A minute 20 on this clock, and they actually start to lean towards A. But look at this positioning from sinnopsyy. He's right around the back lines.
Fire in a lot of trouble. He's executed, and now as this B side, or A side, sorry, is besieged, sinnopsyy comes out on top, and Granit, they lose all their members, and it falls down to Shine and Alex. Last 2 members left standing in a 5-1-2, and just like that, Josh, click your fingers and blink, can you miss it? I realised I could have made the pun on Blink there. I do apologise. That was a massive misplay on my part. But Shiny's taken down by juanflatroo. Alex, the last one left standing. In a 1v5, what could he aim to do? Well, clearly not much, as Blink, they take the half 9-6.
It's not a bad half there from Blink at all. In fact, like it's a good half, yeah. 9-6 half on T side of Inferno's a good half. But considering this is their pick and they got off to such a good start today, they're the hot favourites in this series. They're definitely being challenged and they're definitely making some mistakes. Franson going huge here for Granit Gaming. He is actually leading the charge on the server, despite the fact that they're trailing in rounds and no one else on his team is matching his performance. He's sitting 17-9. Really great showing from him. As we go into this second half, round number 16, Granit looking like they're going to go for a fast A play here in the pistols. Try and get those Glocks up close and personal.
They make that way forward. It's going to be down to sinnopsyy, this aggression in apps. He should spot that. Granit has just sold a massive fake. And so flashes go down towards B. So Blink, they're completely aware of this. There's the re-aggression from sinnopsyy. He spots out the members, including the bomb planter, and he still follows through with aggression. So good for 1. There's trades back and forth, though, but Gulito comes out on top, and now down to a 4-on-3. More shots ring out either way. France onto Gulito, puts it down to a 3-on-3 with GX trading once again. GX continuing to hold as best he can. Alex is spotted out, though, as GX hides at the corner. sinnopsyy comes out on top. Hype now left alone in a 1 versus 3. Finished off as Blink make it 10. And with a pistol round, they're going to be very happy with that.
They absolutely will be. That would have been a big round for Granit to win. Had they have taken that one, it would have been their opportunity to level out this scoreline, propel themselves back into this one in the second half. But without it, Blink should be able to establish quite a lead. You see that parry match banner come up. That's because if you check out parry match down below in the panels, then you can get a first-time deposit bonus if you want to place a bet on this game or any other in the EDC wildcard. Number 17, Blink just need to make sure they don't make any mistakes. They're not up against an eco. It's a force buy here from Granit. Eagles, Tech 9s in hand. Nice little boost here towards Banana. Gives sinnopsyy a sightline over this smoke. You might be able to catch out a Tech 9ing member. Does a little bit of damage. No kill just yet.
They continue to just force their way forward. Granit, being a bit more passive and taking a bit of early damage towards B, so they are just fanned out towards mid as the odds flash goes down. They're just trying to take map control, and with Tech 9s, it can be pretty damn hard, but they're making do with what they can. As Blink, again, just fanned out. They make sure that Granit just get kind of a lull of security, a false sense of it, so to say, as they don't challenge top mid. Instead, they make sure that Apps is clear. They make sure that they can rain death from above should the short push come through. And for GX, it's all down to timing, in which I guess he partially comes out on top. He tags out the first member. He's forced away, though. But elsewhere, sinnopsyy's taken down towards B. And now sinnopsyy's in a lot of trouble. He's got to try and catch out both the members. And while Shine is low on HP, he actually takes down one of the Deagles to kick things off. Doubles up there, looks to triple up. He knows there'll be a player behind him in the form of Alex. But is he blessed by timing? No, he's not. Down to 2 on 3. The plant goes down, though. The numbers punched in by Granit. And as juanflatroo leads that charge, he spots out the first player towards E-Box. Turns around, knows the second will be on triple. Finishes off the first. And for Via, with his position, no, it's just a matter of time before he too is killed and joins his teammates in death.
Well, another great round there from Blink as they make it 11, and with that, I'm not sure if Granit are going to go for a force in the next as well, actually. I was going to say this should be 12, but Granit have got enough money to justify going for this force off of the back of the fact that they've actually got themselves another bomb plant there and didn't fully invest in the last. They kind of went for what was a buy, but they kept a tiny bit of extra cash behind them. So we see like $3,500 on every member. We could definitely see pistols and armor again. That's exactly what we'll see come out. So round number 18, Granit once again have an opportunity to get some teeth in this round, maybe find a couple of kills, maybe a bomb plant. Who knows? Maybe they'll come out on top. As you see them bomb it towards Banana, they're looking to take these early gunfights. And once these Tech 9s get close enough, they're very, very deadly. And there we go. Deagle fires through for both. 2-for-2 trades. And that's the B-site open for business.
That's a really good trade on Granit's behalf, as Blink now thrust into a retake. They're very early to get to CT, so they might be able to catch out some of these members before they're really able to embed their position. But as Franson throws that smoke, he's going to really delay this push. And unfortunately for Granit, Blink have all the utility in the world. juanflatroo, he doesn't have a life, though. A beautiful shot by Franson through the smoke. The last 3 bullets happen to find his head twice and finish the job on him, as Blink just shift their way forward. I'd love to see them use this util just to hard clear this site with smokes everywhere. And instead, they're just going to go for the flash take. A bit of a surprising attack, to be honest. And Blink, they back away and save. I will admit, I'm perplexed. I'm definitely perplexed. But instead, Granit, they make it 7.
Another just bizarre round. I don't know how this keeps happening, to be honest. Granit consistently pulling off these force buys, consistently making it work. It seems that the pace with the Tech 9s and the Deagles are the magic recipe to actually overcome Blink right now. And Blink come right back into this one with a buy of their own, but it's polarized. There's a Desert Eagle on sinnopsyy. Sinnopsyy's only got that MP9. There's a little bit of a lack of util on a couple of these members. And as they try and respond with aggression, they do find the open-in headshot, but it's instantly traded there by Shine. And Granit, that's not a bad start for them at all.
Absolutely right. And while the trade's even, it means that Blink, with only a Deagle on sinnopsyy, definitely need to try and find a way to equalize the playing field. And they do so with sinnopsyy getting up close and personal on B. And that's brave to do, considering he's alone right now. And he is really rolling the dice with this push. But luckily for him, Granit are turning their attention towards the top of A. A few shots ring out, but Blink, fortunately, because they have rolled the dice to make it 2 on 2, it falls down to Gulito and his teammate of sinnopsyy to really hold as effectively as they can. The smokes go down towards long. Gulito will look to try and flash his teammate in for a bit of aggression, but he doesn't have to. Instead, the real push is coming up from long and from apps. And as flashes continue to pepper these positions, they try to buy some space, but Gulito has them line up. Scenario to Franson puts it all down to Via, alone in a 1 versus 4, finished off by Gulito. And for a moment, what looked like a really strong wrap from Granit, they embedded themselves around that A site like a boa constrictor, just slowly tightening around its prey. Gulito breaks it free with that 2K, and from there, it was a whitewash. 12-7 Blink lead, and Granit go down to just pistols.
Well, we've seen these pistols formidable in the past, but this time around, nothing on Alex besides the utility. Hype with no Kevlar. They're desperate to stay above this 2K mark so that they can actually go for an investment in the next, because Blink are getting dangerously close to closing this one out. 3 members early towards this A site, but they actually start to rotate them off. There's a real opportunity here for Granit to overwhelm this site, as Blink have gone for a bit of a stack towards B. Presence made, and oh, Granit, they're falling back into it. This is just mind games right now. We're actually seeing sinnopsyy dance back towards the A site off of the back of the banana aggression that's not found them anything. And Granit right now, they're just playing their opponents and confusing them. I mean, they're confusing me at this point. I don't know where they're going to end up.
Absolutely right, and with juanflatroo shutting down Franson, I think their final resting place will be towards A, but it'll be a resting place more of a tomb, with Flatroo just deleting anyone who comes into his crosshair, and Granit, they're slowly getting the cold feet, realizing that actually Peaky is just certain death. Shine, he attempts it, he actually meets that death, but this time he's able to take juanflatroo with him. Sinnopsyy finishes the job though. Blink now leading 13-7, force Granit's their next buy, but it could potentially be one of their last.
Well, a 6-round lead here for Blink, and if they can win this next one, they should be able to propel themselves onto 15. That's assuming Granit don't get a bomb plant. If they get a bomb plant, they'll have enough to go for some kind of a buy in the next. It's 13-7, and Blink, they've kind of picked this one back up quite nicely, haven't they? Remember, we saw 8-6 scoreline at one stage. It was very, very close.
Yep.
And Blink have really started to pull away from this one. They've found their footing on their CT side. Granit's attack hasn't looked too great, besides the one round that we saw them come out on top with, where they got really aggressive with the Tech 9s towards B. They haven't had all too much success. Nice early trade. And as they start to lean towards this A site, this is where Gulito is going to be challenged.
Lines up 2 quick members again. Twice now that M4's rung true for him. And as it falls down to a 3-on-2, Granit turn their attention around towards this site. But sinnopsyy still there. Shine now left alone. Finished off by juanflatroo. And with 14-7, Blink now leading against Granit. While then that pick has been a little bit closer than Overpass, it's definitely not that much closer, with Blink looking to just swamp Granit. We take a look at our parry match odds. In fact, we don't see the parry match odds. I think they are convinced Blink are going to win this, as are we. However, if you want to place a bet on potential future games of Blink, or maybe even our next series, go click on that banner down below and check out parry match. For Granit Gaming, it's going to be Pistols coming out now, and they'll look to challenge the 15th.
Well, hype. We follow him with the BT50. It's just a pistol force buy here for Granit. Not really too much for them to work with. Couldn't really justify going for the full investment. So we see a half buy, and they'll be playing for OT. The issue is that to achieve that OT, they'll need to win 8 rounds in a row. Something that I feel is incredibly unlikely. Given what we've seen so far, as sinnopsyy just mows through these V250s and Desert Eagles. That's absolutely perfect. The coordination on that flash is just to the T. And they will blitz through this one. Doesn't even look like they're going to take any casualties at this point. Maybe I spoke too soon.
I am interested. Why is the Kosovo flag on the Albanian players?
Because I don't think they're all Albanian. I thought there was like 2 players from Kosovo and 3 Albanians, wasn't it?
No, it's full Albanians. Every single one's Albanian.
Ah, okay, right. This is interesting. And this is where I now don't know. Because I think it's Liquipedia. Yeah, okay. Liquipedia tell us that juanflatroo, sinnopsyy. In fact, Liquipedia tells us that the majority of these players are from Kosovo, and HLTV tells us that they're all from Albania. So
No, they're Albanian. Blink's an Albanian. I'm so sure. I'm so sure that they're...
I've always seen
are they Kosovo or are they Albanian?
on juanflatroo and sinnopsyy.
I'm trying to look at the Twitch chat, hoping that would kind of give us an insight. Oh, okay, they're all from Kosovo. All right, they're not Albanian. So all those times we've said that they're Albanian, and all the times I've tried to speak Albanian, it's completely wrong.
Well, it says, the thing is, right, is HLTV says that they're all Albanian, and under all of the players, they have the Kosovo flag on Liquipedia, but when you actually go onto their player profiles, it says nationalities, Kosovo and Albania. There's both. They have both.
All right, that's a broad term.
Yeah.
Oh, right, Kosovo is Albania, right. Wow. If we ever appeared as uneducated Brits, that was definitely a moment for it, wasn't it? Shit, Lord.
I thought you were good with this stuff, Kramer. I just gotta take your word for it. I
good at this stuff as well, but I've really kind of... That's a low point. I do apologise, everyone. Usually I'm pretty good with that. to apologize. Oh, looking over to Blink. It looks like they're probably about to close out the map as well. Granit, they just hightail it away from mid. Sinnopsyy, he's about to hit a hero player or about to hit a villain play. Well, there's the hero. Good for one. He'll double up as well. Or may even be able to triple up onto Alex. He's going to be digging into him. Can't quite do so. And with that, it falls down to a 3-on-2 with the trades happening towards A. Via onto sinnopsyy, leaves all onto Gulito. And with that, looks like we are going to see a 1 versus 2 ahead for Gulito on unlimited HP. This could be an 8th for Granit.
Every now and again, we just kind of see like a couple of crazy headshots from Granit, and you go, oh, wow, okay, they've turned around like on its head. Franson, he's gone huge again. He's got 24 kills to his name. And when you compare that to certain members like Hype, who's sitting on 6, or the rest of his teammates who are on 11, you really do start to realize that he's pulling quite a bit of weight right now. He is like putting up a really strong performance, hitting some brilliant shots, and no one else really matching that just yet. Gulito, 24 points of health to his name in this 2 versus 1. Definitely winnable, but certainly unlikely, as that C4 is starting to pick up the pace as well, beeping faster and faster. And if he deploys the smoke on it, he's actually just going to try and hold the defuse. But no, Alex knows exactly where he's going to be. Spams right through it. Instant death as Granit Gaming put themselves onto 8.
So it's a nice try. It's a nice try from Blink, or from Blink to go for that. Washington's not quite enough. Granit, they're able to make it 8, and as they pull themselves forward, it's going to be their chance to really try and shut down this side with an early push towards what will be its default. And for Granit, they also fall into a default. I think the reason Granit won that round was punishing Blink's aggression rather than their own attack, and so it falls to Blink to really just be a bit more disciplined and let's just close it out now. And it's something that used to appear quite a lot in when teams would scrim, which is if you want the game to end, going fast won't make it end quickly. Going fast will make it end in a further amount of time because you're constantly going to lose rounds. So I think Blink are going to fall into that position now with an early kill onto Alex. They back away. And instead, Gulito now left alone is finished off, but GX all brings true. We're actually going to see follow-up aggression from juanflatroo before he too falls, but it down to a 3-on-3. GX now one of the only players who can defend this site. Brings out a nade of his own. His teammate, though, of sinnopsyy doesn't realize it, but he has the bomb. Shutting down another member. Via on short. One before sinnopsyy finishes the job. Leaving Hype alone in a 1 versus 2. Shifting his way forward from short. Tagged down and finished by sinnopsyy as Blink, they pull ahead and they